What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And again, the markets keep on falling. And this is something that we already had expected in the last 3 to 4 videos. And I think from the start of the week, we were very bearish on the market. Now, what the market has done is very different and very tricky. So, Nifty and Bank Nifty both are at interesting areas. Now, Bank Nifty, I think, has a lot of room to fall. So, I'll just quickly get started with Bank Nifty first. So now this is the hourly chart and this is the one-day chart of Bank Nifty. So I can only see demand over here towards these lows. And that essentially means Bank Nifty has maybe another 800 to maybe 900 point fall remaining before it actually gets to like a technical area of reversal. That's my view on Bank Nifty. So I'm not really very interested. Now, before I kind of conclude with Bank Nifty, I'll just go and check out the major heavyweights of the Bank Nifty index and try to understand. Now, Bandhan, the only one which is doing occasionally well, and the State Bank of India after earnings, was very volatile. So this is what happened after SBI earnings were announced. The market made a high, I think 2.5% in like 5 minutes. And then kind of falls by 3% and then just kind of chops everyone out. AU Bank was another, but these are all, not really heavyweights as such. But, let's just focus on SBI as being a heavyweight. Now, if I look at SBI's chart on the daily, there's still a lot of rejection. Don't really see anything happening over here. Apart from that, if you look at ICICI Bank, trading at an area of demand. So there could be some action over here, but it hasn't really reacted. So can't really say much. Axis Bank, another name, I don't really see any kind of, signs of recovery. Can Bank, PNB, HDFC Bank, all of them look extremely weak. IndusInd Bank breaks the base as well, and RBL Bank. So I think majority of the constituents of Bank Nifty are essentially weak. And I think Bank Nifty could probably dump another 800, 900 points before it kind of starts stabilizing. So again, as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, I don't really see any long play. I think there could probably be short play. So I think if you're looking on the short side, Bank Nifty is a better option. If you're looking on the long side, I'll come to Nifty. This is a better option. Now, why? This is the one-day chart of Nifty, and what Nifty has essentially done, it has come back to this area of demand. Now, if I go to the 1 hour chart and show you, so this demand area, I think Nifty is going to react because we've been falling in a straight line for about the last, week, maybe I think last 7 or 8 days. And we've fallen about 900 points, about 3.5%, which is like a decent enough correction. The last time we came here, we saw very solid action, good reactions from this area of demand. Now, this demand is going to be a little weaker. Now, as far as the charts are concerned, I think we are likely to kind of open a little lower, then try to make a spike into this fair value gap. Probably this is where bulls will be trapped. Mind you, don't get trapped over here. This is what I think. Market's going to pull back a little bit, and then this is what we will see towards the end of the election period, which is the end of June. So I think this is the most important area of demand for Nifty, which is 21,000, 21,100. Where positional longs can be taken. Right now is not the market for you to take positions overnight, especially on the long side. Very specific positions, trim down your position size a little bit. That's the action plan. So for Nifty, I think there could be a short-term long play, a short-term bounce that can be played for intraday traders. And after that, once Nifty comes back to this area of supply, I think it's a clean short. So that is what I see from Nifty. Now let's quickly come back to the watch list that we have created and let's get started with ASAL. So now automated stamping, it's currently at an important basing area. So I will keep this on track. This is not ready yet. I was down 2.5%. Not my priority area stock. Another name which I found interesting was Nupur Recyclers. This was already in our watch list previously as well. I think it starts tapping in over here and I think it can do some action. I will just create, I'll just, put in the volumes over here. And you can see that this absolutely dead volumes. I think there could be some action, some activity in NRL. Next up, we've got Zomato, which again is basing out in a very, awkward way, I would say. I don't really like what it's trying to do over here, but still, out of all the stocks that I've seen, a majority of them are down. This held up today. That means it has little relative strength. So Zomato is going to be an interesting one. Tata Elxsi is another IT company. Now, I am particularly bullish on IT because I think the worst is over. Now, even if I talk about Tata Elxsi, it's come back to this very important area of demand with a gap waiting to get filled. And I think, earnings, they've not been that great, especially for IT companies, but I think there is a bounce in IT. I think I can see that bounce incoming. So Tata Elxsi is one such play from the IT pack that I would definitely enjoy. The other one is Infi. Now, today we've taken a fresh position in Infi. That's a disclaimer. Please do your own due diligence if you want to take this position and consult your financial advisor for that. Now, Infi also making this nice tight little base, waiting to break out, reacting from an important area of demand. It's like a textbook play. Pfizer is another pharma name which is kind of trying to make a base. Lots of rejections on the left side, so not my favorite play. Then we've got Zelpmock Design, small cap name, not really very exciting to me because it is a circuit name, not very high liquidity, but just for the sake of it, it exists. Now, Tata Motors DVR and Tata Motors both look good. Now, today, the Nifty Auto Index was actually on a roll. So, I will first show you Nifty Auto, right? So, Nifty Auto was the outperformer until the last, few minutes. Because if you see, this is the action, right? So, this is, 8th of May. This is 9th of May. I'll just open this up, right? So, this is where we opened. We made like a big sweep on the upside. I grabbed liquidity over here. And even if I show you auto stocks from the Nifty Auto space, let me just quickly go here and show you. So, I'll just show you the names. So, basically, TVS Motors, Hero Motor Corp, all of them were doing well. Two-wheeler stocks did really well. Tata Motors and M&M were also decently performing. So Tata Motors, again, similar base as Tata Motors DVR. So again, I like it. Bajaj Auto also outperforming, but otherwise, again, it's pretty flat action. Next up, we've got Tata Motors. So as I said, we've got two Tata Motors, Tata Motors and Tata Motors DVR, which is kind of doing great. Go Fashion is trading at an important area of demand. Now, the stock has been basing around for quite some time. It's like a value buy with a high risk reward ratio, I would say. The quarterly earnings were not that great. If I look at the 15-minute chart, we have seen some kind of basing happening. It's going to be a little tricky for this one, but I think this can be played if it starts moving beyond $1,000. So I think this could be interesting. Next up, we've got Rishabh Instruments, which looks fantastic. I think this base is very good. This is one of these stocks which can actually outperform the market. Now, tomorrow onwards, I think I'm going to have a close watch on this because there are only a few names in the market right now which are long ready. That means there is some action left in them. So this is one of them. Jindal Steel is on the short side. So now this is a stock that I have on my watch list on the short side. Why? I feel there is a move on the downside. So we've swept liquidity on the highs, right? Around the highs. Now we've got like this natural base, which is setting up as like a stage 3 kind of a base. And I think there is a lot of, fall ready to come in Jindal Steel. Now, while explaining Jindal Steel, let me go to the 15-minute time frame chart over here. And let me just mark these important areas. And I'll just invert the chart, right? So now what you can see is we swept the lows over here, and now there is so much liquidity to be taken on the upside that you can't, I think it's a very simple thing that Jindal can do, and that is like a small bounce over here, and then it goes down, taking liquidity, all the way to maybe these lows. So I think Jindal Steel has got a decent amount of selling yet to happen. Now, why am I so confident about Jindal and other metal stocks being a little weak is I'll go to the metals F&O space and I will just try to tell you what's actually happening with metals. And there has been like a patch of kind of underperformance. Now, just look at the entire metal pack, right? NMDC down 5%, right? So I'll just remove all of this. NMDC down 5%, National Aluminium down 4.5%, SAIL down 4.5%. Coal India, GMDC, JSW Steel, Adani Enterprises, the entire metal index is weak, right? Vedanta, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, right? So Jindal has actually been an outperformer. And if you look at base metals also, they're not doing that great. So I think, Jindal Steel, there is a fall pending and I think that could happen. Next up is Tata Consumer Products. And now this name is currently trading at important areas of demand. We were expecting like a bounce, but today the markets were really, really tricky. So what I now feel is there is a very tight little small base which is kind of being built over here, which can be taken out on the lower side also and on the higher side. Like the probability is that, Tata Consumer Products is most likely going to do something like this. And where is the liquidity in the market? So I don't really see any areas of demand. There's a lot of imbalance. So I think we can easily come down another 10% from here. But again, there could be another thing that if Nifty starts to bounce back, this cannot be ruled out, where it tries to sweep the lows and then starts to move higher. Both of these cannot be ruled out. That's my plan for this. Engineers India, if mid-caps are slightly strong, I am not going to, hesitate in creating like a long in Engineers India. It's a very simple play. We break this base, we come back down over here, we go to the hourly chart. We are back at this area of demand. It's like a plain vanilla classic demand bounce kind of a play. You go long around 214s, you respect this area, 7.5% stop, and just try to take this as your target. Simple stuff. But again, this is not a recommendation. Do your own due diligence. And I think this trade area could actually outperform. Last is Shankara, which is again at an area of demand, trying to bounce, but closed very badly. So it's going to be interesting to see on how this one plays out. So that is the watch list for tomorrow and the entire game plan. If you like this content, do make sure to hit the subscribe button. That really motivates me and my team to put in more such content. And if you're new here, consider liking, subscribing, and dropping in a comment on what you feel about this episode today and whether this series is helping you in your trade executions. That's it from my side. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.